up, you guys? Welcome aboard to Contemplate with Ching! Yay! I am Menching Luciana and I am a political science student. Actually, I'm turning third year in political science. Dahil nga bakasyon ngayon, ang dami kong oras para magbasa. Yes, reading is one of my favorite thing to do. And most importantly, I love to study random stuff. Kaya nga, ito ang purpose ng video natin ngayon. At dahil sabi ko nga na isa akong political science student, I have an aptitude in studying random things, especially when it comes to economics, politics, blah 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 blah. And I don't limit myself to politics only. I love reading books which includes neuroscience and like emotional intelligence, something like that. I love self-help books. Okay? Dahil nga bakasyon ngayon, ang plano kong gawin is mag-annotate ako ng libro. This is a pre-loved book na nakabili ko sa book sale and it cost, tinanggal ko na pala yung price. This is entitled Megatrends Asia by John Naisbitt. Okay. Para bigyan kayo ng overview, I will read to you the description. Description ba tawag? Yeah. In Megatrend Asia, John Naisbitt, international best-selling author and world-renowned trend forecaster, focuses on the explosive events occurring in Asia and reveals the dramatic impact these events will have on global economics, politics, and culture. Drawing on more than 3 decades of first-hand observations and interviews with politicians, entrepreneurs, and business leaders, Naisbitt identifies 8 principal trends that are shaping Asia into a commonwealth of nations that will soon rival the West. Soon rival the West? Like, it's fascinating. Oh! Incisive, bold, and indispensable, Megatrends Asia will arm you with knowledge necessary to embrace the opportunities in global shift in power will bring. Yeah. A book like this talks about what really is happening in the world. If you have an aptitude on studying the world around you, you are being equipped with knowledge and you will not be easily be fooled. And the power of knowledge will bring you to anywhere like you don't know. Okay? Especially in class. Kaya nga, mag-annotate ako ngayon ng libro ni John Naisbitt. This is just one of my hobbies to annotate, but this hobby really built me to be an effective student. Since nga, I am a political science student, this will help me in class. I am inviting you to annotate with me. Kasi nga, marami na akong leisure time at tapos na akong gumawa ng gawaing bahay. Oh! In annotating, guys, I usually have my sticky notes with me. Kaso, naiwan ko sila sa boarding house. Dahil, iniwan ko lang sila kasi nga, ang dami kong nila baka nag-add sila ng word sa bag. O, diba? Pero, what I brought with me were my highlighters. Meron pang pen na kasama. At ito yung gagamitin kong notes kasi nga, magti-take note din ako along the way. This book has 200 plus chapter and ang kagandahan sa book na to is because meron siyang nakalagay na mapa ng Asia. Kaya, kung hindi pamilyar ang mababasa patungkol sa kung saan manulocate yung countries like Vietnam, China, India, nakakatulong po ito. Eh, parang nafe-feel ko na nasa ako, yung adventure series ng mga character na meron silang mga mapa-mapa, something. I think, i-divide ko lang tong video na to para hindi masyadong mahaba. Actually, na-start ko na siyang basahin. Pero dahil nga busy sa pag-aaral, tapos pag may nabili ako bagong libro, nag-shift yung attention ko sa libro na yon at ending, yun yung natapos kong basahin instead of this. At ilang beses na akong pabalik-balik, pero kaya nga ngayon, I am determined to finish this book. Okay? This has a lot of information about Asian economics and politics. So it's really interesting, right? Let's start! Manila was mentioned here kasi nga, nandito tayo sa Asia and Manila is the capital city in the Philippines, which is more relatable, right? Content analysis of the region's leading newspaper and periodicals. The most spoken words are remarkable. This information. What is happening in Asia is far the most important. I am done reading the first chapter and it talks about from nation states to network, which means that from limiting your border or focusing your own country to nurture your economy, this country should open its border in order to build networks with other countries. That is the idea of it. This chapter has two main figures, which are the Japanese and the Chinese. The author compared these two and at the same time comparing Asian as a whole to the West. At the first part, it talks about Japanese gaining economic power in the Asian region, and it was forecasted that they would dominate the Asian economy and the world economy as a whole. But it turns out that this expectation failed because the economy of Japan plummeted, and then the focus was shifted to the Chinese. And yeah, most of the chapters talks about Chinese being a good entrepreneurs, especially the Chinese overseas who lived outside of mainland China. I learned a lot from this about the characteristics of Chinese being the entrepreneurs who are independent in their own way. At the same time, they work together as a whole. It's like an interdependent, and the networking system is decentralized. Chinese are quiet, competitive, at the same time cooperative in a sense of preserving their culture. Even though they lived outside of mainland China, they still maintain their culture, their identity as a Chinese, even though they would be loyal to their adopted countries. And it made me reflect na if Chinese, even though they are born outside of China, they maintained the values and identity, their languages, even outside of that mainland China. But why does us Filipinos, we don't preserve our values, especially that kartilya ng Katipunan, which was discussed sa amin nung first year pa kami. And I was introduced by this and I was confused as to bakit hindi yun in-include sa discussion namin nung nasa high school pa ako at sa elementary. Like, if some school teach that to Filipino students and pupils, it's good. Pero bakit hindi sa lahat ng school? It's Filipino values. When I read that, why we don't upheld that and we don't retain that to this generation and to the future generations? Why? At isa pa, bakit we don't like to maintain our language na Filipino? Kahit nga na marunong tayong mag-English, it is good to learn English and communicate things in English. Pero, bakit parang kinakalimutan na natin tong isalita? Yeah, ako, nagsasalita ako sa inyo ng English often, pero nagsasalita rin ako ng Tagalog. Pero at the same time, I'm also guilty because there are lots of words in Tagalog na hindi ako marunong, hindi ko alam. Okay? I can't speak straight Tagalog na malalim. It always has English in it. Pero, it's okay. The idea is that kahit na marunong tayo magsalita ng ibang lingwahe, let us not lost our identity to speak Tagalog. Let's speak the truth na kahit maraming Pinoy ngayon na parang kinakancel nila yung China at kinakancel na yung mga Chinese people, we can still deny the fact that those Chinese people are still good when it comes to networking. In fact, some or majority of them are good in mediating corporations, and they are literally helpful in the Asian economy. They contribute a lot of gross domestic product in Asian as a whole. We can also generalize things, diba? Some of them were just born as Chinese and they just want to build business as Chinese, upholding their identity as Chinese. And some, according to this book, wala naman talaga silang interest sa politika. Like, yes, we are involved in politics, pero they don't really wanna be involved in that clearly politics. Chapter 2, which is from traditions to to options. Actually, yung overview ng bawat chapters is nandito siya. Yan, may annotate pa ako dyan. Yan. 8 chapter siya as a whole. And yes, ako rin yung type ng person who wrote the definitions of the unfamiliar terms. Pero bago ako mag-continue, maliligo muna ako kasi wala pa akong ligo kanina pa. And after that, lalabhan ko yung clothes ko kasi nga ayokong matambak sila. Maybe we'll continue later. Guys, hindi ko natuloy yung pagbabasa. Kasi after na naligo ako, nag-notify si mama sa akin na magpapadala siya ng pera kaya pumunta kami doon sa city. At tapos noon, bumalik kami dito sa bahay at hapon na, tas gumagawa ulit ako ng mga gawaing bahay. And after that, I worked on my papers. May sinusulat kasi ako, guys. Kaya, feel ko, next ko na talaga siya mababasa kasi babalik ako sa BH bukas. Because our trip to San Carlos is ngayong Tuesday. Ayun, Tuesday na. And it's not something na gusto kong dalhin kasi nga mag-annotate ako at wala akong time mag-annotate sa ganong situation. Kaya I prefer to annotate this here para makapag-concentrate ako at makapag-contemplate and reflect. So, ang gagawin ko is magdadala ako ng isang book for pastime purposes. Kasi nga, kapag pupunta ako doon sa San Carlos, gusto kong may binabasa. Maybe I would bring this storybook that I have here. Ito. Shades of Truth by storybook are something na good to go, na pwede kong dalhin kahit saan kasi nga it don't need much of my brain cells to work. Yun. Pero babawi ako, guys. Maybe on my next video, i-compile ko na talaga yung mga na-annotate ko at i-share ko yun sa inyo. Importante, I shared to you one chapter that I read, the annotations and my comments on that chapter, and I bet it's enough for this episode. Kasi nga sinabi ko na ayaw ko ng mahabang video. Kaya, I will end this one here. Have a good night, guys. Mwah!